Welcome back. Even though it's basically still winter outside, spring football practice at UND is quickly nearing its conclusion. With 11 practices down and only 3 to go before the spring game, Bubba Schweigert and company are starting to have a better idea of how the new pieces the team added in the offseason might fit come this fall. For more on how the most recent additions to the Fighting Hawks roster are settling in, here's Alex Heinert.
If you know Bubba Schweigert and the North Dakota coaching staff, then you know they're not the type to make excuses. Not surprisingly, they've never blamed their hard luck 2017 season on the rash of injuries that started during spring ball and seemingly never stopped. Still, it's hard to imagine last year's UND team only going 3-8 with a healthy roster. The impact of losing a staggering 22 players off the initial 2 deep for a full game or more can't be understated. While the likelihood of having back-to-back seasons with that amount of attrition is next to none, North Dakota isn't taking any chances this spring. In their eyes, the best way to safeguard against injury is to build depth, and that's exactly what UND has done this offseason. Enter a number of transfers with FBS or high-level junior college experience that have already found their way onto the depth chart.
We knew depth was going to be a concern for us, that we wanted to hopefully get some older guys in here that had some maturity and could come in and learn our stuff and play at an early time here in their career.
As UND's defense was hit the hardest by injury and graduation, most of the team's new faces can be found on that side of the football. Headlining the new recruits is Everett Williams, who comes to Grand Forks as a grad transfer after 4 years in the Big Ten.
He had played and started some games at Minnesota, so I think he was probably the one guy that was a little bit of a proven commodity. His physicality is, I think, what drew us to him in the first place. He's a 6'2.5", 250-pound inside linebacker, and we just wanted to get a guy in there that we thought that could play with some physicality.
I knew I had 1 more year, and I was like, this is my last year, so it has to be the right place. And I knew Kostic, who was a staff member at University of Minnesota before I got to Minnesota, so I knew he was under Kill. I don't know anybody under Kill is a good guy, so I kind of had that connection. And then I knew James Johannesson, who came from Minnesota as well, so kind of was nice to have some familiarity with here.
Williams is expected to bolster a UND run defense that had finished 7th in the Big Sky last year after leading the conference in that category in each of the previous 3 seasons.
I think that'll be his strength when we play against teams that like to run the football. He's a guy that can go in there and take on linemen, fullbacks, and really play with a physical nature.
Along with making plays between the lines, the Mansfield, Texas native hopes to also fill a leadership role in the coming season.
I want to be able to just get everybody to be leaders and everything, so that's what I'm learning to do as well myself, just to become a leader and just learning the playbook. So once I learn everything, I know what I'm doing to help others know what they're doing as well.
North Dakota also addressed the secondary, adding a trio of California JUCO prospects in Hayden Galvin, Zach Zimmerman, and Lenny Nelson. At 5'10", 195, Nelson was originally viewed as a corner, but his high compete level combined with an opening at safety has him shifting between the 2 positions this spring.
This defense, everyone has to know what everyone's doing, so once you learn one, you know everything.
When we had talked to his junior college coach was, hey, this guy's, since day one has come in here and really competed really hard, and he's done the same things here. So that sometimes separates those guys in the back row. A lot of guys have a skill set and all that kind of stuff, but that competitive spirit can make a huge difference, and that's what he brings to the table.
Time will tell how big of an impact this new group of Fighting Hawks will have on the field in 2018, but so far, each have been a positive addition to a UND football culture that's been reforged in recent seasons. And that's a development this coaching staff won't mind pointing to should there be an uptick in the win column come this fall.
They've all come in here and not only, I think, have brought some leadership and just some maturity to our team, but they've been a good fit. Sometimes that's the piece you might not know about, just kind of what the fit's going to be once they get around the guys, and it's been really good, so that's been a positive.
Everyone here is close, which is a great thing. Offense, defense, some schools, I have friends at other programs, like offense and defense, they don't really hang out. Here, you have defensive guys hanging out with other people, you have people hanging out with the kicker, you have people everyone here doesn't matter who you are, what position you play, everyone here is close.
All right, great stuff. Thank you, Alex. The 2018 North Dakota Spring Game is scheduled for just a week from tomorrow. That's Friday, April 13th, and it kicks off at 6 p.m. Central. We will be bringing it to you live right here on Midco SN. Coming up after the break, more spring football in North Dakota, this time from NDSU. Brian Sean updates us on the Bison quarterbacks when Midco Sports Tonight returns.